A good Wednesday midday, Roger Hill with the VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. We have a ridge of higher pressure easily seen here, this ridge that extends up into Hudson Bay, Canada. This is out ahead of some jet stream energy that developed a cutoff low, but this is not quite cut off. It's going to basically exit into Canada, and up against this ridge of higher pressure, that's going to shove it basically to the east, and we're going to sort of open the door for more moisture, mostly in the form of cloudiness at first. It's going to take a while before things moisten up down in the lower part of the troposphere, and eventually that's going to mean some light rain showers or scattered sprinkles. It could be a few wet snowflakes in the mountain summits as early as Thursday evening. After that, it looks like fairly limited chances for any wintry frozen precip, but a few showers here and there. We will see a drying out period once we get into Sunday and beyond. And it's looking like maybe down the road a piece we might start to see a little bit of April high fire danger, but we're not there yet by any stretch. Looking at the temperatures right now across the region, what we can see here is temperatures that are warming very nicely. A lot of 50s and 60s being propelled along on a west to southwest wind. And behind this area of low pressure, more wintry weather for the northern Rockies, Canadian Rockies, etc. And for the modeling, we're looking at the European on the left-hand side. We have the GFS ensemble on the right-hand side, just to keep it real. And this is our weather system. As you can see, there's rain showers and off to the south and west of us. So what's that going to do? Well, it's going to try to run into an area of higher pressure, and these are going to basically fall apart. So you can see as we get closer into Vermont, this is during the afternoon now during the day tomorrow, Thursday. We'll have the cloud cover, but not a whole lot in the way of precipitation. This will make an inroad here once we get into Thursday evening, and it could produce a little bit of wet snowflake action in the upper highest summits of the Green Mountains. That's going to be about it. Just a little bit of blue, as you can see there. And then that moves on out. We kind of await the next shot, and you can see what happens here. It kind of falls apart, just very minimal amounts once it runs into eastern New England. Again, associated with that sort of leftover area of higher pressure and a drier atmosphere in the lower troposphere. So consequently, it's not until basically Friday night and into the morning hours on Saturday we see a little bit of that. We dry it out again, and then a little bit of a leftover with this frontal boundary and some colder air working in. This would be once we get into basically along the period about Saturday night or Sunday. And you can see that that kind of falls apart. And we have another frontal boundary, pretty good shot of colder air up here in Canada, but that's not really going to reach us. So another area of higher pressure builds in on Monday with some pretty good weather. Tuesday also looks pretty good. But as we get into a little bit beyond the period for Tuesday, we start to see some rain shower activity starting to work in, but these are very minor systems. And weather systems, probably one of the more beefier, stronger one here, works in along about Wednesday next week. But overall, relatively dry weather. You see that little bit of potential snow here. Not counting on that, the European ensembles are kind of discounting it at this point in time. A little bit of a newer look for the GFS ensemble plumes, what we have here. And what you're looking at is 3-hourly precipitation down here. This is our temperatures, and you can see that this will be a little bit of a cooler day. This is, of course, wind directions moving to and fro. And the overall precipitation trends are, this will be probably the beefiest amounts of precip. But again, we're not looking at very much here. You can see just dry weather ahead of that. And then once we get after this coming weekend, we're going to see another drier stretch. Looking at the total QPF looks like this. So we're talking under 0.4 of an inch. And the blue line indicates the most recent model run, deterministic. And the black line's the ensembles. And you can see that we're generally looking under really 0.4 of an inch overall for quite a stretch of weather here. That's going to dry things out. Looking at 850 temperatures right now, which basically is anything above that is in the form of rain, anything below that in the form of snow in general. And you can see that temperatures will be cold enough aloft for a little bit of snow here, but not a whole lot of precipitation occurring. Weather Prediction Center QPF shows just a total of about 2,500, so a little bit more than that, and less than a half inch. So again, about 0.4, and that's a good comparison right now. Looking at the climate reanalyzer 2-meter temperature anomalies, you can see a little bit warmer than normal, a little bit more to parts of the Ohio River Valley and up in Hudson Bay, but some cold air has dropped in across the northern and western states, as we've seen a little bit of extra snow now in the northern Rockies. The MOS meteorological output stats give us basically neutral weighted for the next 5 days of high temperatures only. Now, 3 days later, it looks like this. Again, neutral to about 3 degrees above, and a little bit warmer up in parts of Canada. And current conditions on this Wednesday midday, we're looking at temperatures making a nice rise and just a few high thin clouds. Enjoy the day today. Tomorrow will bring a lot more cloud cover. And thanks for watching.